We're there. Welcome, everyone. I'll say that to everyone because there's no one. You never know. I usually get some numbers. Thank you very much for whoever decides to come in. Say that in advance. I'll say it to you when you get here, if you decide to get here. Thank you very much. Yes, well, I'm just seeing who I can round up. I only try these things, you know. You never know. Well, I had a busy day. I was doing the sort of jobs that maybe aren't your most. Oh, sorry for the yawn. Really, the sort of most favourite jobs. I was cleaning the milk trailer. Where I've got some videos of that in the past. I didn't bother about doing any today. I say bother. Who wants to keep seeing that shit? But I was cleaning the milk trailer today, cleaning out some of the big water troughs in the paddocks. Just that type of stuff, and getting some firewood in before it starts raining, because apparently tomorrow looks like we got a cold front coming up and it's going to get all wet again. With over the next few days, we got thunderstorms and hail and all that fun stuff coming our way by the sounds of it. Got a splinter in my finger. Oh, no, that's what happens when you do something. Yeah. Oh, well. And, yeah. The afternoon sort of rolled me a fair bit. But I did put a video on TikTok today. Refresh my page. And the video today was, I'll share the screen, was that, righto, good morning everyone. I was feeding these two. Now we got this new dairy bull. He's brand new. He's never been fed that one. We'll see how we go with this fella, because he's nice and hungry. He was keen. So this again is another brand new calf that you get to see. Basically, what that does is these bull calves here, we provide a market to the dairy farmer, but essentially like 90% of the time, the market just doesn't reward us what the animals are worth at the time that we've got to sell them, because we've only got a small farm of 30 odd acres, and so we just can't carry the animals for very long. We can feed them all of the, Mr. Angus there that you seen when he came in as an abandoned calf. But yeah, that was today's thing where I was just doing that. So it was that was the only sort of, well, it is the only content I put online today. But the last few days I've really been pounding it, haven't I? So what else is happening in the world? Feel free to say good day, whoever's here. Let us know. start a conversation, pick a topic. I don't care what it is. I'll talk about anything and everything. Doesn't bother me. It's all good, whether it's crypto farming, crypto and farming, just anything, general whatever's. It's all good. But yeah. And then I found out yesterday that I always thought it was like DeFi, but we don't fit the DeFi space. So we call it RFI, regenerative finance. Where one example of regenerative finance is a project in the crypto industry that uses blockchain to create a new type of carbon credit. Well, we have carbon credits. We make carbon. Support conservation. Well, there you go. So that suits us for what we do with the animal stuff then, isn't it? You can only try this stuff. See what we can do. I know it's only Sunday night for me, Sunday day for other parts of the world. No one's in Monday yet. But Calf will definitely be focusing more on the refi sector of the crypto space. So that, yeah. I wonder I clicked on that one. Oh, is that what it was? Oh, so that means that I'm getting broadcasted right now. Well, there you go. I did not know that. Learn something new every day. Sorry, my brain really gets pummeled these days. It hurts a lot. Well, doing good at getting numbers today. Let's have a look at this. I will. No, when I get me act together. and I will share a screen. No, not with that, with that. Right, this is the CAF V2 token white paper. And so I got cause for the calves. Yeah, I know. CTFC farm project is a refi crypto project with real world utility, as it has a goal to provide and support the farming industry. It's not so much a goal, it's what it already does. It already does that. And because if we were to build a project, well, having said that, no, it doesn't really, because it hasn't got to that stage yet. But that's what the future is, I suppose. Initially in the 6th of January, because no SafeUX. But CAF V2 was born from the learning of CAF token, which is a much better fit for purpose, which is true. So it's a utility token for cause of the calves NFT farm project. As such, already has levels of utility that crypto tokens dream of, which is very true. And I might change that, because I might put an S on there. There you go. At the moment, the buy tax is 3%, sell tax is 3%, and that's the buy tax goes to the liquidity pool. The sell tax, half of it goes to the liquidity pool, the other half goes to reflections. And the reflections are an amazing aspect because they're not inflationary, and that's right, because it stays at 5 million tokens. Yes, so benefits are things like I can split the taxes to the various needs, like liquidity pool, the treasury, marketing, development, burning, reflections, and same with the sales tax, can do the same thing as well, which is obviously a very good aspect to it. However, I won't renounce it, because once you renounce it, I can't make changes to it. The only reason why it has a blacklist capability is in case I needed it for front run bots. But I have code in there to help stop front run bots, and so consequently I've never seen a front run bot. Of course we get trading bots, but trading bots are trading bots. They're just, you can't distinguish between that and a human. But front run bots are taking advantage of people that might have incorrect slippage settings, things like that, where they're maybe seen as more malicious if you were to put a branding on something. And that's why I say here it's got the anti front run bot mechanism. It just stops two trades in the same block. So it stops the ability for a front run bot to take advantage of a purchase order. Of course, I'll only change any of the tax variables, given sufficient proof. Like, of course, would never do anything that is not right to do. Can't mint it. And eventually it'll become a rarity because we'll end up burning them as well. So it's bound to happen at some stage. And of course, welcome to the community based on honesty, integrity, and respect. Absolutely. Being an agricultural utility token, of course, there's a lot of potential out there, but you just got to keep working away at it. But that's the things that we're doing at the moment. And I've got a guest. Hey, Whale Miner. Thank you very much for joining. I didn't actually realise anyone was here. I was just sort of blabbing away in my own way. Hi, Ellie. Thank you very much for calling in. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Like I seriously have not looked into whatever they've talked about with the V3. But do I have to? No, because I already know what the outcome is, what the purpose is. So no, I don't need to look into it. I already know. Oh no, baby. Man. Just wants to stay cooking a little bit longer. That's all it is. Of course, like, as long as the community just keep getting sucked along into V2, V3, V4, with all of the same, like, nothing's going to change with who's behind the project, like, the same shit's going to happen. Like, they never, ever, none of the projects get a free run at just being a free market token. Like, it's just completely played, and that is all there is to it. There's just no denying that. Anyone that wants to deny that as a fact is just totally not looking, or just doesn't want to look. So yeah, it's absolute manipulation to the highest degree, time and time again. And don't forget, you might as well say V2 is already a V3 anyway, because they failed on V2 launch, and then they did a V3, which they still called a V2, but it's all the same thing. It's just stupid, and it's just crazy. So yeah, just don't understand it. Obviously, I understand it in a way that it's used as a money grab, but there's just no other way. But I don't know why the community, my pain patch that I have on my shoulder, I get irritated skin from it. It's bloody horrible. Got to wear the thing for a week, and it's just, it's horrible. I've got this violin out. Off to the big smoke again tomorrow to get an injection in the right knee. So my left knee's not doing very good, so I'm having a bit of trouble walking at the moment. But I'm not about to have a baby, so I'm probably doing pretty good. I'm going to have to see what... I just messaged Happy, as I see that I was tagged there because Chalk's been on the live streams lately. Yeah, she can't today because she's got a friend that's been admitted to hospital, so she couldn't join me today. And I won't be here that long because Formula One's coming on, so I'm going to go and have a look at that. I presume that's to me, get well soon. I never get well. It's just the way it is now. It's a new way of living. There's no such thing anymore. Yeah, I know. It's amazing, especially the ones that are still in the community and just keep, like it's like a revolving door, and they just keep on going back in for more and more and more. It's just unbelievable how it just keeps on happening. Whoa! Do you go skiing? And and all that snow. You live far enough south, you must be getting those Antarctic winds up there. Well and truly, we get our fair share, but it's not really that bad here. But yeah, when they do come up, it's damn cold. Of course, we never see snow. Motorbikes, I used to, I used to ride state round enduros and cross country, and I was actually 1992. Geez, I'm showing my age here. In 1992, I was the expert four stroke, which was the open class because I was riding the XR 600. Expert open class champion, and in cross country and enduros, and I rode for WA in a 93 4-day. So like I've been around motorbikes all my younger life. Done a lot of racing and stuff. So yeah, like have a fair bit of a history with that one. Yeah, the old thumpers. Yeah, my last bike I was riding was what was it? It was brand new, but it was about 2007 or 8 or something like that. Husky 510 T 510, and geez, since the XR 600 to the new Husky, geez, they changed the way the four strokes run. It's just unreal. Where the old XR was a true thumper, but the Husky 510 was just a blaster. It's just amazing the progression in four-stroke engines. It's just it's been a lot happen with them, where they just run without the thump. Because obviously I've raced all sorts of things from like KDX 200 to CR 250s, and so I rode state round motocross for a little bit back in 93 as well. Even though I was never really a motocross rider, because I was an enduro rider was my main forte. But it was I had a brand new. I had a new 1991 XR 600 that I won the state championship on. But that's back when I was an apprentice mechanic. So that's obviously going back a few years now. But so yeah. Take care, Ellie. Thank you very much. I need to still get that information from you too for the RFI stuff. But of course, there's always more days. It's all good. But thank you very much for joining. It's like back in the olden days, you used to have the old CR 500s racing enduros, right? And they were just a blast machine, which was just like people just go stupid on the things, they were just go. You just know them for. I'll try and demonstrate this. Blap, blap, blap. Everywhere they go, that's all they do. They'll never they'll fast, yes, but even though I was riding the XR 600, it was still faster in the open class, which was the open class was anything over 250 back then. So that was 2 and 4 strokes. So I used to beat all the 2 strokes, of course, with the old XR, but that was it's obviously motorbikes have changed a lot now. I never had anything to do with the WR450. I know a lot of people have. But yeah, I haven't myself. No, never been on. Well, I used to ride the old back in 1980. In the late 80s, I had a TT350 when I first started. That was when I was in B grade enduros. So, but that was when doesn't compare to what there is now for sure, but for the day it was all right, but more like a trail bike, but still used to go pretty good on them. He used to be all right, but needed to obviously have registration and whatever for all the other stuff that I wanted. Hi, Creative Shorts, thank you very much for calling in. Cheers. The old motorbike days. I still got all my old gear and stuff here, and obviously got all my trophies and stuff like that. But on it, yeah, it's all to do with the handling, isn't it? Once upon a time, I used to have a PE 250, and what a bloody idiot of a machine that was. It was just stupid, like the way it would just want to buck you off. It was just an idiot thing. And it's just amazing how you see the old stuff from the old bikes and that, and the guys that ride now just don't have any idea how bad it was. Like, it's so much better now with the suspension and the way they're all set up, and obviously the power delivery and brakes, and the old drum brakes when you go through the water and then they don't work for a while. You come across the next trees and you sort of got to go, oh shit, am I actually going to be able to do what I got to do? Stand on them for a bit to dry them out and get them back working again. Yeah, it was just unreal. Completely different, obviously, to these days. Whale Miner, you've definitely been around, mate. you know the shit we're talking about. The good old days. back when there was none of this bloody crypto shit, fucking scamming stuff going on. Well, not that sort of scamming stuff anyway. Right, Sophie Dad, thank you very much for joining. I'll be going pretty soon because the Formula One starts pretty soon, I think. What time does that start, Bailey? No. Need to Google it and see when it starts. Because I'm going to go and watch that. It says 1 hour, 14 minutes. Well, that's ages away. Oh. Looks like I'm stuck here for a while then. So true about what bit? Yep. Sooking. That's what they do now. They sook. They find a challenge and just go hands in the air and just give up. Right. that was one of the, you know how everybody has their unique qualities, like what makes them good. My main thing is that I love the next question. Is the thing that made me good was not only that I was pretty damn quick, but I just had the perseverance. I just never ever gave up in any situation, no matter how hard it was. I would always just fight through it. You know, so adverse weather conditions, whatever it might be, you know, like used to. Absolutely not. I've on our direct messages, I actually sent Daniel a long direct message, which I haven't told anyone but Chalk about. But I actually sent him a long direct message, and I'm not going to read it out, but essentially what I'm getting at is that anyone, if you want to start a project, should be able to start your project, right? Now, I'm certainly not talking to him about whether I believe that it's right or wrong. That's not for me to make that call, okay? Well, especially when it comes to other investors. It's up to him to, you know, come up with the goods that he promises. So if he, like, for argument's sake, these nodes, and you go, you know, like I've actually tried that with calf token, right? And we had a validating node on Posi blockchain, and I actually tried that, but we just needed to have so much invested in it to get enough slots. You know, it's complicated to say, but we needed like $60,000 to even make it look like it was going to turn a profit, and it was just so difficult. So I've been down that road already with calf token. There's nothing new about what he's doing when it comes to that. I've been there and done that. Obviously haven't done it with Vulcan, and neither has he, because obviously it doesn't even exist yet, right? But I sent him a message saying that as a CEO, I think you should be able to formulate whatever it is that you want in your token. You present that to potential investors, and then you go with it. You know, like if you are committed and you believe it, well, then that's what there is. Like, because my main thing was when Brian and Jason were picking on him, you know, and I just found that really disrespectful. You know, like personally, I don't like what he's doing, no, but am I the final judge of anything? No. You know, he's a free person to do what he wants to do. Obviously, I don't want people burnt, but having said that, what makes me a judge which says that people are going to get burnt? I don't know. You know, not absolutely for certain. Other people have different opinions, and that's fine. I'm not here to vouch for anyone else's opinion, but that's my opinion. Is it's a no. But having said that, as a CEO, he has the right to present a protocol as he sees fit. And if people choose to invest in it, well, they choose to invest in it. That is their call. They choose to do that. It's on them. Everyone knows the risks in the space. But to me, it's so much degen playing that it's very strange, you know, in this space. I know. I completely get that. I know. I believe so too. I really do. Proudonomics has always been right up there at the, you know, the absolute peak of anything. You know that. You know, I'm certainly not defending him at all, you know, but what I was defending is his position as a CEO, that he makes a decision and then he's allowed to run with it. Whatever that decision is, that's up to him. That's for him to work that out and to sell it to the people. Obviously, like with calf, I haven't done a very good job at recent times to sell it to the people because look where the price is, you know, it's been challenging. It hasn't been that easy. Is there a valid reason for that? No, nothing's changed. But it's just tough times. But he's going to find some very difficult times to lose 49% straight out of the top. Like with Calf Token, not one single dollar is lost out of it at all. Everything is invested and is in there. I don't skim off nothing. Like even with the cause for the calves, where there's 20% is allocated to the farm project. The farm project has not received one single dollar because it's not in a fundamental strong position to do that. I was waiting on Vulcan, but of course we all know what's happening there. So I know, how can you not? That was just disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful. But like, I'm not defending Prado one little tiny bit, but I'm defending except for the point that he's a CEO and he's allowed to make his own choices on his own token, and then he lives or dies by the sword. Like, that's just what happens. And if he chooses to, if he truly believes that his way is a way to help to stop people from getting wrecked, well, the only way he's going to learn one way or the other is to do it. And that's my main thing, is that if you believe so intently that your thing is the thing, then no one's going to tell you otherwise. You just do it. You'll find out. We hypothesize, pretty, on most counts pretty accurately. But, I know Brian makes some perfectly valid points. That's right. I get it. But I'm not taking his word for it either. But it's but on the point of a CEO being able to do CEO stuff, I'm all for it. That is what a leadership does, is they make decisions and they do it. They don't need to have other people coming in, especially uninvited people that aren't part of the team, coming in and forcing their hand when they say that we won't support you unless you do A, B, and C. That is just completely disrespectful on that aspect. Whether the point is valid or not, that's beside the point. It's the principle of the action is what I'm talking about. So that's where, like, but for me as something, no. For some people, probably, they think there's a degen play, and so, they want to jump into shit like that. Okay. And they're probably saying the same about Calf too. Okay. Like, what are you meant to do? Like, everyone has their opinions and their agendas and viewpoints that they're looking from, and so it just is what it is. That's my opinion. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that. It is crazy world, isn't it? When you're dealing with crypto, like, far out, it's just, oh man, it's amazing how it just when you think you've seen it all, and then it seems to step up to a whole new level, and then again and again and again. It's just unreal how it just happens. And I think that it's mainly just different protocols trying to outdo one another. Like, oh, they did this, I could do that. And I think that when you're talking about Prado and Brian, I think they're trying to outdo each other on the, they're already starting from such an extreme point that whatever they think they can outdo with is just so radical that it's like far out. It's just unbelievable. Yeah. And that's like with Chalk, like she's promoted Safe a lot, yes. And, you know, like I have done my bit as well, yes. But of course, you know, like Cause of the Calves is sacrificed into Vulcan, you know, like, but, you know, at the time it was the right thing to do. You know, sure, there was some history stuff and stuff to do with Brian, but it's so much more out in the open now than what it was. But it's, yeah, either way, it's not going to, no, it's not the end of the world for us because we're not talking about that much invested. But, you know, obviously, you know, I wish it wasn't. You know, I hope the Vulcan just does its thing, but I don't hold my breath. But, you know, it'd be bloody good if it, at least, you know, we can recoup something or whatever. You know, who knows what's going to happen. But I just can't see them putting any sort of decent thing together because everything they do, they keep fucking it up. Sorry for the language, but it's true. You've seen it time and time again. They just keep messing it up, and it's just, you know, even with launching a token, like, what's this bullshit about, like, V2 and V3? Yeah, I know. You just go to Pancake Swap, you go to V2. Like, it's a load of crap. Like, as if it went to V3. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And just creating that honeypot. And then on top of that, then goes and sells out on it while people didn't have their tokens. It's like, holy shit. And then people still want to buy into the next stage. And then same sort of shit happens again in a different way. Well, of course you're going to get stung. That's what happens every single time. And that's why it absolutely just, it's like a TV show, a great show, because it's just like bombs going off, isn't it? There's just so much shit. And of course it's bloody very crazy. You know, it's just unbelievable how it just, yeah. And that's why, like, obviously when I'm doing my little live streams now, I'm getting your feedback and whatever. But, you know, I'm saying my opinions, and this is my heartfelt opinions, like saying as truthfully as I can. And, you know, who knows, in 6 months' time it might be different. I don't know, like, maybe there'll be something that sways my opinion, but that's why I'm not shit ragging on anyone. I'm just laying it out there that there's, you know, I know Brian's done his shit with like treasury funds and all of that on Safeview and that, like, that just, like, of course, imagine if I did anything like that, far out, I'd be shot. And yet his community, more or less, I know there's plenty of fights going on, but essentially they just pick up their shoes and just go on to the next thing. And it's just like, that's why they're talking about a V3 and so on now. And it's just like, how the hell can you keep sucking blood out of that stone? Like, surely it's got to stop at some stage, but no, they keep going for it. And I suppose as long as people keep fueling it, you're going to just keep getting it. And it's just, there's nothing easy about it. It's just unreal. Yes. Crazy, crazy world, all right. Yep. Yep, exactly. And, you know, like, as you know, as a trader, there will be sometimes you make a decision to press to buy, and then there's forces that are outside of your control that dictate whether your buy was a profitable buy or a loss buy. Like, you know that as if you're in any trading sphere, whether it's housing or whatever, there's always forces that are bigger and outside of your control that dictate whether you're successful or whether you fail. And that's where some of it is up to making the most informed decision as you can. But yeah, absolutely. Well, that was right when things were really pumping too, don't forget. There was a lot going on back then when that started, with the Titano and all the other stuff going on. There was a lot of action in the Sophia. And like projects just right at that point in time really couldn't go wrong, because I hadn't crested the moon and found, their inflationary curve. And so they were sort of riding the joy for a while, weren't they? And so it was good. But, that slowly but surely just kept on getting whittled away with the inflationary curve, and there was just nothing that could be done about it, because without the new investment, inflation was just taking control, because obviously the compounding rebasing, just has that massive multiplying effect where it just keeps on going and going and going. But when I first read the white paper of ESCO, when it was first released, there was no hope in hell I was going anywhere near it, because the white paper was typical fashion where you could just see it's made up with all these terminologies, which is, is just rubbish. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Number one, they need to get something on the marketplace, but, like, they're going to have a shit fight with so many things. Like, everyone, a lot of the community seems to think that it's all just plain sailing, like it's just going to be easy and do its thing. You wait until reality sets in when they start having technical issues with this or that or the other, because obviously I can't speculate on what that's going to be, but there's going to be so many issues from time to time, and especially with BL's way of always trying to scam shit. So he'll be in there putting his 2 bobs worth in, trying to figure out how can I manipulate this or manipulate that to try and get something out of it. And so it's like they're going to have anyone that's half decent in the place is going to have their back against the wall, trying to, stay on the straight and narrow with leadership like that. And it's just ridiculous. So stupid. I just don't understand it. But, it's so self-destructive. But having said that, it's self-destructive in his positive financial way for himself, isn't it? Because once again, he's always getting rewarded for doing such actions. I'm sure those Gate.io fund transfers aren't just for ESCO. I'm sure it has something other than that attached to it. Yeah, right, eh? Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt about it, of course. Hi, Gino. Thank you very much for... Yeah, it's... As you know, it's 8 o'clock in the day or night. But, yeah, need some sleep. Yeah, I'm always tired. Like, why do you have to talk about Buddy being tired? No, that's just normal. Don't worry about that. I apologize for being a bit tired on video, but That's what happens. You get yourself a brain tumor and see how you go. It really knocks the shit out of you. It's a prick of a thing. Yeah, lots of new investors, exactly. And the hopium was just, the lure of like you put in like $100 and you end up with X amount of thousand and all this sort of stuff. The lure of that was just like dominated over sensibility of thinking, and so it's just, yeah. No, thank you so much, Gino, for turning up, mate, because I know you've had your struggles at late and we haven't seen you around. But, I'm doing this just about every single day of the week now. So these are just general talks, about whatever. So if you have something that you want to talk about, then, and you want to hear my masterful wisdom on whatever subject, then please put it forth. So, yeah. And, of course, Mondays are dedicated to Cause of the Calf. So tomorrow's live stream will be to that, and then we'll see how we go. We might be doing another one tomorrow night. I know there's heaps, isn't there? It's just amazing how brazen that it is now. That's the thing that gets me. It's just the absolute brazenness of actions is, and people go for it. It's just, and that's where I think that Daniel's got his thing from, where, like, I know that he's not scamming and that yet. No, that's right. I get all that. And he's probably got his heart in the right place. I don't know, but some of his stuff he says is a bit out there. I'm certainly not going to defend the protocol, and I'm not going to try and rip it to bits. It's just, I'm standing on the fence of it. If people choose to invest, do whatever you want to do. But me, no. But does that mean anything? No. Should it mean anything to you? No. You make your own decisions with your own dollar, and you do whatever it is that you want to do. And speaking from where I'm at the moment with calf, I can't really say that much because, we're struggling a fair bit too. But that's just the way it is. It's all right. Obviously, I hope things, would be better, yes. But do I want it to be better as a short-term fix? No. So you just got to build a community, build this integrity rapport with people where you've been doing the right things, and hopefully then you find a little bit of support in return. That's really all you can do. And if people want to do malicious stuff, well, hopefully they just don't get and don't get looked after so much, and don't drag the whole community down, because the calf community was really good, and then it just got absolutely pummeled. But it's what it is. Yeah, I know, that's the problem. See, that's why I sent the message to Prado. I was saying that as a CEO, you need to do your thing. Like, he's asking for too many, like how he puts his votes up asking for people's opinions. It's like, seriously, man, like, you're a CEO, make a call and go with it. Like, and let the people be the judge. Now, when it all comes down to it, release your protocol and then run with it and see whether it's any good or not. You'll soon find out. Try your 90% tax and see what ends up. Like, would I do that? No. Like, no hope in hell. But, he could try it. And if he's so insistent that it's going to do certain things that are positive, then why wouldn't he do that? And so do it. Show us all how to do it. maybe we'll learn something, and that'll be the next trend. The next SAFU trend is to set honeypot traps, of such, for periods of time or whatever it might be. It doesn't matter how you want to word it. I know that a honeypot is where people can't sell. That's correct. So it's not like that to the true definition of the word, no. But it essentially still entraps people into a position. I know if they're fully aware of it prior to the purchase, well, then that's a different story, because they're willing participants in that tokenomics. That's what you get. That's it. You can't go back on it from that point. If people choose to invest when everything is out in the open, then the blame is on you or the person doing it. It's not on like Prado or anyone. But that's the reality of it all. As you know, we're no longer in the DeFi space, so that's good. Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I completely agree with what you're saying, because you've suddenly lost your financial freedom to make choices with your own funds, right? But does your opinion change if you went into it knowing that? And so you went into a project that you knew you were going to be vested, or knew that you were going to be locked, or knew that you're going to have really high taxes before you did your investment. And I'm meaning that they didn't change it after the release. Does that change your opinion on that at all? Because I would think that if you purchased into a project that had, say, 90% tax, no one's forcing you to press the buy button. You're buying into a project that is locked or vested, but that that's what's going to happen as soon as you press the buy button. Well, then you're a full willing participant in that locking tax or vested period. And so then the onus would be on the person, not on the project. If they're able to convince you as a free person in the free market that this is a great thing to do, and they have been open with you, then the onus is on you. But if they've deceived you in any way to get you in the door and then change the rules on you, well, then that's a different story. Because I'm sure lots of people wouldn't be invested in Vulcan now if they knew that they were going to be stuck vested and not able to touch their funds. Yeah. That's why, at the moment, with the crypto market being down, if you wanted to stay playing the game, it's a good time to accumulate. I think you've said it before, the top 20 sort of stuff, you just accumulate what you can. And then next time when we get a bit of a run on, well, then, of course, those ones would be most likely the ones to, they're the most responsive to BTC price. And so that's where you find the buy and hold game rather than playing the swing trade. Swing trading is a challenge. It's amazing how much Murphy wants to get you. Like, you put something on and then all of a sudden it goes the completely different way than what you anticipated. But it's just amazing how many times can you watch a market and you don't put something on and it goes exactly the way you did anticipate, and until, of course, you decide to put something on it and then it does completely the opposite. And I'm sure you guys have all of the same experience as me when it comes to that. That it just seems to be whatever it wants to do to mess you up, that's just what happens. So if you want it to go whatever direction, it will do the opposite once you're financially vested and or financially invested. It becomes challenging. Have they changed that at all? I have no idea at all what their thing is now. I have not heard one single thing, and I'm not in the Discord, so I don't know anything about it. Yes, I have NFTs, but I don't know what they're doing. And of course, your map's really connected in with Prado now, and it's like, I don't like I don't know. The jury's out on that one, but for me, personally, I'm not really that much of a fan of what he's doing. But tell me what you think, or what's happened, because I don't know. Like, originally, of course, it was essentially to get, more or less one for one, getting your Vulcan back. But I have no idea what the deal is now, or whether they're still talking about anything or whatever. I don't know. So sorry, Gino, I'm totally out of the loop. That's just another investment thing that's just gone by the wayside for me, because it just seems like it's, again, just more offshooting of BL stuff, which just seems to be problematic, and it's just challenging to break out of that space. And that's why, you'll see in our white paper now, where I'll show you. That's why now in our white paper, you will see that Calf token is now, or known as a refi crypto project, not a DeFi. It's a refi. So that's where you'll see some directional changes with our community, because we're going for the refi community, not the DeFi community. You think so? I don't know. Can't tell me what it is, because I don't know. The only time I'll be happy is when they actually do something, because it's been how long now, and nothing, and yet Cause of the Cars was set up the same way. And how quickly did I do something when SafeX wasn't happening? And the LC is exactly the same, but the problem is with them, they took money off the top, whereas the Cause of the Cars didn't take a cent. And that's where there's a big difference, because it's all right for the guys that are running the project, because they've already been paid. They've received their payment, and so it's completely different. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't have much faith in any of that stuff anymore. Where's the accountability on what they've been doing with them? I don't know. I know that my ignorance of not being in there is playing into that. I don't know, but that's why I don't really have that stronger opinion one way or the other, because I don't know. But yeah, it's just hard, because like, so much of this space has just been so messed up with blockchain not happening and all the other things that's going on. Yeah. challenging. Not really happy with the direct messages that I've had from UMAP. I come from maybe a slightly different angle than many. Nothing bad, but I wouldn't say it's anything really that great either. But it is what it is. Anyway, feel free to direct message me afterwards, Gino. You obviously got me on direct message. And I think I'll call it a night and go and have a look at the Brum Brum cars and stuff. Okay, what's this in? Yeah, no, that doesn't do anything for me. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah. Talk to me in direct message, Gino. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Whale Miner. Thank you for joining in and having a conversation. Thank you, Gino. Please direct message me about that stuff for sure. Sophie Dad, it's awesome. Thank you. And Ellie, of course, thank you very much for joining in, Ellie. No, it's fantastic. Thank you, guys. Thanks for all your support and help with us doing our thing. So thank you very much. Take care. Cheers. Love you all. See ya. Bye.